did.
He saved us.
Your faith is pretty deep.
To show you just how powerful this monster tornado was, this is the foundation of where Lola Pitt's home was. The tornado came along, lifted it up, carried it clear across the street, and dropped it about 150 feet away, right on top of Thelma Stevenson's home. Stevenson was inside with her two children.
You were on the side where her house landed.
When we was running to the bathroom, my bathroom wall was like coming at us, where we had to hurry up and run to where the commode, because I got two separate things in my bathroom.
You must have been terrified.
We were screaming.
The family had been hiding in a side room. When the house landed right on top of them, they had nowhere to go.
We was running from room to room because it seemed like every room we went to, it wasn't safe. So when it wasn't safe, we had to redirect. And by the time we finally got to the last bathroom, it was like it was over. But we literally ran throughout the whole storm trying to get somewhere safe.
When the storm passed, Stevenson and her children escaped through this front window. Lola Pitt's son found her in the wreckage of her home 2 days later. The last act of Lola Pitt's life was the phone call she made to Stevenson, telling her the storm was coming and to take shelter.
All I remember at night is Miss Lola Pitts calling me, telling me to shut that door and get them kids in a safe place. That's all I hear when everything is quiet at night, so I can't sleep. She was so sweet. I wish you had met her. She was the sweetest little old lady. She was concerned.
And she says that, Thelma says that she expects that she is going to continue to hear Lola's voice all throughout these many days and weeks ahead. And there are so many stories like that here in Tuscaloosa. People drew their last breath trying to warn others before the tornado came and swept them away. You know, we see this damage here in Tuscaloosa, but it extends so far and wide across the Southland, from Mississippi all the way up almost to Washington, D.C. One place that was hit extraordinarily hard, a suburb just north of Birmingham, Concord, Alabama. That's where we find our Jonathan Seri today. Jonathan, what's it look like where you are?
Hi, John, you can see all the destruction behind me. Today we've been seeing an influx of relief workers, many of them from large organizations such as the Red Cross, and also small grassroots organizations and small local churches. The National Weather Service says this was an EF4 tornado, which would pack winds between 166 and 200 miles an hour. They base that on the destruction that they see here. Homes ripped from their foundations, cars and other vehicles tossed through the air. But despite all the destruction, we're also hearing amazing stories of survival. Many residents saying that they took cover in bathrooms, some lying down in bathtubs. We met one family that took cover in the only portion of their house to survive the tornado, a room underneath their brick staircase.
Man, when I looked around the corner of that little building right there, you could just see blue skies, and I knew then it was gone. And then when you just come up out of there and then looked across this whole area, I just feel for every family member, everybody that lost everything.
Many other small communities like this were affected. In the town of Cordova, about 40 miles northwest of where I'm standing, 2 tornadoes killed at least 4 people. The twisters caused extensive damage to the town and ripped the roof off the local medical clinic. And then in the town of Hackleburg, a tornado destroyed the only grocery store in town and also knocked out the police department and the fire department. Local officials are seeking donations of flashlights. That's because they're trying to get residents to stop using candles during the power outage. They worry about fire hazards. If people accidentally set their homes on fire, the response time, it's obviously going to take a lot longer for firefighters to come to the rescue with destruction like this throughout many small communities here throughout the state of Alabama. John?
Yeah, Jonathan, it's amazing when you consider here in Tuscaloosa as well, the emergency management headquarters was hit. So in the early hours after this storm, it was very difficult to respond. But respond they have now, and we're seeing all of these volunteers pouring in. And that's part of the story we'll continue to cover here from Alabama. But right now, let's send it back to New York. And here's Jamie Coulter. Jamie?
John, I have to thank you for sharing those stories, because if people can just start to fathom how everyone has suffered there, I'm sure they'll reach in and do what they can to help, and we'll be talking more about what you can do. Thank you so much, and we will check back with you. John Roberts, live on scene. Incredible pictures and stories.